So I know we're all familiar with the infamous Raditz fight, where at the time Raditz was the most powerful person the series had to offer. He was killed due to Goku holding him in a Nelson lock and Piccolo hitting him with the Makankasapo. Goku also died in that fight due to the attack hitting him as well. But what if Goku held onto Raditz's tail long enough for Piccolo to finish him off? And I'm sure you've heard other creators talk about the same topics or something similar to it, but I wanted to give my take on things. What's up? I'm Anime Anonymous and welcome to my channel. Feel free to grab a snack, sit back, and listen to the story unfold. So the story begins with Goku catching Raditz by the tail, weakening him. Hold him still, Piccolo yells at Goku to hold him there while he finishes charging his attack. In the normal series, Raditz tried to convince Goku to let him go and Goku did. But on my take of the story, Goku grips his tail and gives a good old classic Goku speech about how he took Gohan and is an evil monster, blah 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 blah. To get back on track, Piccolo finishes charging his attack and hits Raditz, killing him and keeping Goku alive this time. Both Goku and Piccolo hear the warning about the Saiyans coming in the next year as Raditz finally dies from the final blow from Piccolo. Goku would run to Gohan, who's still in the space pod since he never broke out to save Goku and show his incredible power. Due to Gohan never showing his hidden strength, I can see this story unraveling in two directions. Direction 1, Piccolo refuses to train with Goku for a year and flies away to train alone. Direction 2, Piccolo agrees to train with Goku as the world is in danger and he needs Goku to help him defeat the Saiyans so he can continue his quest for world domination. Easily, Direction 2 sounds more like a Piccolo move, but I'd like to go over both scenarios to make things fun. Starting with Direction 1, Goku and Gohan meet back with Master Roshi, Krillin, and Bulma to regroup after leaving Piccolo to train for the Saiyans alone. Goku fills them in on the Saiyan invasion and warns them that these two Saiyans are stronger than Raditz. In this scenario, things still play out roughly the same with Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, and Yajirobe all going to train with Kami. Since Goku did not die and does not have instant transmission to teleport there, he cannot go to visit King Kai for special training. This means the Kaioken and Genki Dama will never be taught to Goku. So Goku will have to either get more training from Kami, who already taught him everything he knows, or train by himself. Since Gohan was rescued without Goku getting too badly injured, Gohan never showed his power to Goku, so Goku wouldn't suggest training him, plus Chi-Chi would never allow that to happen. In this scenario, Piccolo would be a lot weaker than in the original story. Most likely since Piccolo in the original canon was at 3,500 due to training with Gohan for roughly 6 months and training by himself for 6 months. Piccolo not having a sparring partner in Gohan may push his power level from around 2,800 to 3,000. The other Z-Fighters would have consistent power levels to the original story. However, when they finished with Kami they had additional time left to train, and in this scenario, I think they all would have trained together with Goku. Even though their levels wouldn't get extremely high, it would make a difference in their original power levels. Yamcha would go from 1,480 to around 1,500 to 1,600. Krillin would go from 1,770 to around 1,800 to 1,900. Tien would go from 1,830 to around 1,900 to 2,000. And Chaozu would go from 610 to around 690 to 750. As for Goku, he would be significantly weaker than in the original story. In the original story, after training with King Kai, he was around 8,000 and had a grasp on Kaioken ×2 comfortably. In this scenario, Goku would at least be stronger than Piccolo due to his Saiyan nature and the story saying that he's a fighting genius. So Goku would go from a power level of 8,000 to 3,500. When Nappa and Vegeta get to Earth to look for the Dragon Balls, things will play out a tad bit differently. We know the Cybermen to have a power level of 1,200, so everyone should be able to take a Cyberman except Chaozu. We can still have Yamcha die from the Cyberman self-destruction and Krillin doing his all-out attack, the Kakusanden, or the Scatter Bullet to kill the rest of the Cybermen, with Piccolo or Goku killing the last one that escaped the blast. However, when it comes down to the actual fight with Nappa and Vegeta, the Z-Fighters will get annihilated. Vegeta wanted to fight Goku due to him betraying the Saiyan race, and Nappa is still stronger than everyone there, including Goku. With Nappa killing everyone except Piccolo and Goku dying almost instantly from Vegeta, the two Saiyans would try to get more information about the Dragon Balls from Piccolo, who won't talk and would also be killed by Vegeta. Since Piccolo is dead, Kami would also die, leaving the Dragon Balls useless. After their fight, Nappa and Vegeta would rest for a bit, then wipe out humanity with or without their Ozaru form. They wouldn't need the artificial moon since it wasn't destroyed by Piccolo. However, due to the multiple explosions and world panic, Gohan may be exposed to the moon and transform into his Ozaru form at some point while Nappa and Vegeta are on the planet. The two Saiyans would still beat Gohan, however they might take him with them as they destroy the planet and get ready to sell it for Frieza. In this scenario, there's a whole lot more we could talk about, including what would happen to Gohan and how would Vegeta and Nappa go about getting immortality on Namek, but that's another video for another day. Let's talk about Direction 2. Piccolo would agree to train with Goku for the upcoming Saiyan invasion, and both Goku and Piccolo would inform the others about the situation. In this scenario, the Z-Fighters still go to train with Kami for their first 6 months and are released on their own. Just like in Direction 1, the Z-Fighters will train with Goku, but this time Piccolo is there to help them train as well. In this scenario, the Z-Fighters' power levels are a lot higher than usual due to the additional training with Goku and Piccolo. Yamcha would go from 1,480 to around 1,600 to 1,750. Krillin would go from 1,770 to around 1,800 to 2,000. Tien would go from 1,830 to around 1,900 to 2,300. And Chaozu would go from 610 to around 750 to 900. As for Piccolo, his power would be greater due to training with Goku for roughly a year. He originally had a power level of 3,500 but would climb to around 4,200 to 5,000. Goku, of course, would be a little stronger than Piccolo, but still weaker than his original story counterpart. So he would go from a power level of 8,000 to around 4,400 to 5,200. Again, in this scenario, Gohan never showed his abilities, so he wouldn't train for this fight, nor would he fight. Also in this scenario, the moon was never blown up by Piccolo, meaning the moon is still a factor in this story. Just like in Direction 1 and the original story, Nappa and Vegeta come to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls and target the highest power levels on the planet. All of the Z-Fighters would be in the wastelands waiting for Nappa and Vegeta to arrive. And things play out a bit differently here. The Z-Fighters have little difficulty fighting against the Cybermen, who are at a power level of 1,200. And Yamcha even survives the fight with the Cybermen this time. When it comes to the fight against Nappa and Vegeta, things are a little better than usual. Nappa should be easy work for Piccolo. As for Vegeta, Goku would struggle to fight him as he doesn't have the Kaioken or Genki Dama techniques. But he has the combined powers of Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha to help him with Vegeta. As soon as Piccolo finishes Nappa, the battle becomes more even, with the Z-Fighters having more numbers and a variety of techniques like the Solar Flare, Kenzan, Multiform, and Makakasapo. But, with the fight dragging on due to Vegeta being faster than everyone attacking him, the day would end and night would slowly approach, meaning the full moon would come out and Vegeta would transform into his Ozaru form. Krillin and Yamcha are the only ones who know that the Saiyans transform upon a full moon due to their tail. Vegeta's full power is 18,000, but as an Ozaru, his power is 10 times greater, so around 180,000. At this point, this can go one of two ways. The Z-Fighters can exploit Vegeta's tail and try to cut it off, or Vegeta outspeeds them and slowly starts to take them out one by one. If the former happens, they'll beat Vegeta enough for him to retreat, which leads to the original story. If the latter happens, Vegeta would kill all of the Z-Fighters and start to eliminate humanity while in Ozaru form. He may still find Gohan, who would transform due to being exposed to the moon during the conquest of the Earth, which still leads into Direction 1 but without Nappa. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap up our story there. Let me know in the comments if you want me to continue the end of Directions 1 and 2 in another video. And if you made it this far into the video, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video. Until we meet again, my friends. Anime Anonymous signing out.